start with the overview that Mark talked about. All the responses to our case, their 74% drop in prices with Francis and their drug policy alliance, all of those are not specific to cigarette smoking, so you can disregard those. They even admit that it's for cocaine production. But let's go on the specifics. Remember Chalupko, which explains that these excise taxes are anti-drug policy. No, the only thing our opponents try to say is it's a domestic policy. But the fact is, since they're selling it to Latin American countries, we're trying to, as Chalupa explains, decrease the amount of people who are smoking in Latin America. So it's an anti-drug policy. And look at the resolution. It says the continuation of current U.S. anti-drug policies in Latin America. So that's an anti-drug policy that we're doing in Latin America. Now, they're trying to indict the Wall Street Journal evidence by saying it's a purported raise in taxes. That's right. But the article also explains the taxes that we have right now are half of what the lives that we would be saving. So we're saving 500,000 lives right now. If we increase it to this purported level, which it says that we will by the end of this month, we'll be saving the 1 million lives according to the ToC Quarters evidence from that $1.60 increase. Remember, this is going to be outweighing all of their impacts in their case, so even if it's only 500,000, it's still outweighing the AIDS and the violence impacts. But then, remember what Mark talks about with NAFTA. Because of that agreement, they're not going to be able to go to other countries, and the biggest provider and biggest traders are going to be coming from the United States. Now let's talk about treaties, subpoint B. It's the FCTC. 168 countries signed it ubiquitously all over the world, and it's going to be affecting Latin America. Remember, they dropped Boikley, which shows that these treaties have decreased smoking by 20%, which means that if we're decreasing smoking by 20%, you can take 20% of the total smoking population, and Boikley furthers that, and the Palo Alto furthers explains that it kills more people than AIDS, so we outweigh all their AIDS impacts, and Chigamatsu explains that it kills more people than violence, so we outweigh all their violence impacts. Then on our subpoint C, remember the economic benefit that we're getting is $50 billion. But even if you're not comfortable voting on our own case, you can vote on their case from the terms. On the kingpins, Mark reads the Johnson evidence, which explains that it's 30 times more likely to take out a cartel when we kill the kingpin. The U.S. Department of Justice explains that we've dismantled 612 cartels, which decreases all of their violence arguments. And the Mexico, we've been doing judicial reform.